Hey everyone, Denise here, and this is video 5 of the 5 video series on aligning in the flow, leading up to the workshop, which is coming up on January 27th. Today, the posture is Tadasana, which is basically our ready pose at the beginning of our sun salutation, and it's our final pose at the end of the sun salutation. And we can kind of think of it as a very simple pose, which it is, but it is often the place where I as an instructor will start to lay some foundations for the alignment principles I'll use throughout the sun salutation and on into my practice. So that's where we want to think of this particular pose, Tadasana. If I can find my balance in Tadasana, I feel my balance in Tadasana, can I carry that feeling from pose to pose, from breath to breath? And will I feel that feeling again, balance and alertness and readiness at the end of the sun salutation when I return to this pose? So I'll give you some very brief alignment cues for Tadasana to see if you are able to find yourself in that very balanced, equal standing feeling in the pose. So we usually begin to cue at the feet where the great toes point straight ahead and heels are a little wider. It's okay if you prefer to have your feet a little bit apart or if you like them right together. But rather than turning the toes out or turning them in, we point them straight ahead, and you'll see because of the shape of the foot, my heel will be a little wider. I like to recommend unlocking the knees, feeling the sliding surfaces. So many of us have a tendency to lock the knees back, but we want to keep them ready to move, which they aren't really if they're locked. Then we focus on the hips, and we're seeing about balancing the pelvis over the feet. We draw in the pelvic floor, a Mula Bandha engagement. Lengthen up our front seam, lifting the heart, broadening the shoulders, and I want to sense my shoulders balancing over my hips. If my hips have a tendency to be forward, I'm not going to have that sensation in my body. So I want to draw my shoulders right over my hips, draw my hips right over my feet. Then I lift through the crown of my head, tucking the chin a little bit, and we're so prone nowadays for the head coming forward. So I'm going to draw my head back. It's nice to close the eyes for a few breaths in this pose and start to feel as though everything has stacked one above the other. And when we do, because of the gravitational pull on the body, we start to feel a kind of weightlessness in the very center of this pose. So if you become familiar with this, you're looking for that in other standing balancing poses and particularly in your inversions. So can you become familiar with that weightless sensation, the very balanced, centered, grounded space? So that's where we're trying to get in Tadasana. Take your time in Tadasana. Usually instructor will give you a little more time to find a full Tadasana and make your little adjustments throughout your body. But if that time isn't really being given, give that to yourself. Take 2 or 3 breaths here and feel your way back into the pose at the end of the sun salutation. So you once again are ready for whatever comes next, no matter what that is. Tadasana makes you feel balanced, grounded, ready, present in your practice. Conscious Tadasana is a really beautiful sensation, a beautiful experience, a beautiful thing to practice. So I hope you'll take that on. And I'm going to say goodbye for now, but I'm back every week with the pose of the week, and there will be many more little series to follow, and I really want to follow up on your questions and comments, so send them along, and I hope I'll see you at the workshop. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.